Hello everyone, my name is Miranda and today I am here to review Big Little Lies by, I should have looked how we say the author's name before I started this, but I'm just going to go for it and say it's Leanne Moriarty. Right? Maybe so. So, Big Little Lies, this may sound familiar to you because it is currently being adapted on HBO as a miniseries right now. It's about to wrap up actually on Sunday night. So I will be doing a review for that once it all wraps up, like a big old overview, because basically when it's a miniseries you can just treat it kind of like one long movie, right? This review then is going to be focused specifically on the book because without saying too much, I have very different thoughts about the book than I do the TV adaptation. So, Big Little Lies, if you haven't heard about it, is kind of one of those stories that's told going backwards. So it starts off with us finding out that at this charity gala thing that's being hosted by this school with all these parents who become our main characters, someone was killed. We don't know who, we don't know how, we don't know what's happening, but we do know that there was a murder, and then the rest of the book kind of fluctuates between police interrogations of people who were there and what led up to that night and all the drama. So really we follow three women. There's Madeline. Her big thing is that her daughter is growing closer to her ex-husband and his new wife, and she's getting very insecure about that and feeling like she's losing out on someone that really doesn't deserve her daughter. There's Celeste, who seemingly has the perfect life, but we have deep, dark secrets that we find out about her with her husband and her two kids. And then there's Jane, who is younger than all of them. She's pretty much 24, I think. And she's a single mom. She just moved into town and she has some secrets as well, but she starts being friends with Madeline and Celeste. And on the first day of orientation for the kids, we find out that one of the children, Amabella, who is the daughter of Renata, who is Madeline's sworn enemy, accuses Ziggy of choking her, I think it's choking, yeah, choking her, and Ziggy is then labeled as this dangerous, reckless monster, and that's kind of, there's a lot of stories involved in it, but that's one of the bigger stories. Like I said, this book is full of different little plot points and little mysteries. That's kind of solving what happens while also solving the overall one, because the whole thing, I guess, the whole title sequence, why it all makes sense, is Big Little Lies, and it's how these little lies that you tell over time or hide from people can add up and become these huge, massive things. So I have to say, it definitely is it doesn't break any new molds. You know, it's very much in the vein of strong women who appear to have it all but kind of are broken on the inside. However, what I think I took away more from this one than, say, Gone Girl or Girl on the Train or something is I truly do think the women come out on top without having to sacrifice any of themselves, and I feel like they come out better for it. We see them improve themselves and they truly do win in the end, which I really love. This is definitely a book about female independent. That I really love the message of that. One thing that I think is amazing is just how all three of the different women's stories were equally entertaining to me. We had Jane, who was trying to figure out about Ziggy and about his dad and all that. We had Madeline, who was dealing with her ex-husband, his new wife, and her daughter. I do also want to talk about Celeste's relationship, and I feel like hers is pretty spoilery. So for now, if you haven't read the book and don't want to be spoiled, or if you're watching the show and don't want to be spoiled, thank you so much for stopping by. But you're going to have to come back after you've read it. I will see you guys next time. Bye for now, non-spoilers. Celeste definitely has, I feel, the most impactful story of the bunch, because we find out that her husband is abusing her and is violent towards her, but he switches it on and off very quickly. So I think just the way that their scenes were written in particular really got to me, because I think it was so great how you could just see, I don't know, I feel like a lot of times when you see abusive relationships portrayed, you just see the abusive side. So you're like, why would this person ever stay with her? It just doesn't make sense. But in their relationship, you really got to see how, it's a 5-minute thing where he'll bash her head in, and then he's so doting and so nice and so caring and such a great father. I would literally get physically ill when he said certain stuff, because you could just see how he makes something out of nothing. When she would try and do something, he would be like, why are you doing that? And just the way it started, I would get ill from it. And I think I really loved truly how she thinks she can put up with it. She thinks she'll be fine. And then there's that moment where he snaps and she realizes he will kill me. Like, it's not something that I can just put up with. He's going to kill me, and he's going to do it soon. Like, I need to get out. And I thought that was such an amazing and strong moment for her to realize, like, this isn't something, like, the good isn't worth the 5 minutes of bad, even if it's not that long, because it's bad and I'm not going to make it. So I thought that was really, really great and really empowering to see her make that choice, but see her struggle with it, you know? She thought she could keep it together and keep her family, but then she realizes that it's an illusion that she has in her mind, and it's not going to not get better, but it's not going to be able to something she'll just deal with, you know? Of course, the big mystery, who got murdered? I actually liked it. I feel like sometimes when you do books like these, I get disappointed when you find out either who was killed or how they were killed. And it being Perry, I think, was, I don't know, I really didn't think it was going to be one of the women, because like I said, this book has such a strong feeling of women empowerment that for a woman to be killed, I feel like would have taken that away. And I feel like Perry, I don't know if he necessarily needed to die, but I think it was the choice that allowed the most freedom for the women, because now Jane doesn't have to deal with him anymore or explaining to Ziggy or anything like that, and Celeste is now free to just go on and live her life. She doesn't have to worry about a divorce or, you know, losing custody of her kids or anything like that, which is just, I think it opened up so many doors for everyone. But what I really love was how Bonnie was the killer, even though it was accidental, and I like how it was explained in, like, that she was just so angry when they found out that he had been abusing Celeste, and how it led to her being like, your children see it, and we realized that Celeste's kid is actually the bully, and how just this little thing that she thought, again, like this little, not lie, but this little thing that she kept contained, she thought she was keeping her children away from it, they weren't realizing it, then it blew up in her face, and now she realizes that it's not a good environment to be in anymore. So I just thought it was really, really good. I didn't love the end, though, I have to say, when, like, they all agreed to lie for Bonnie. Like, I don't know, I get it, because, again, it's women supporting women, and that guy was just a douche anyway, so why should Bonnie, like, have to suffer for that? But at the same time, it was just weird, because I feel like it put weird strains on certain relationships. Specifically, I guess, Madeline and Ed. I just didn't like the strain it put on that relationship, because I thought Ed was actually kind of one of the good guys, you know, and everyone else kind of had their issues aside from Tom and him. I really, really liked it, obviously, and I'm excited to read more by the author. I think I went in, like, expecting just, like, another Gone Girl ripoff, or, like, normally when I read books like this, I don't really feel bad for the women, because I feel like your problems, like, aren't that bad, you know, like, they're just, like, drinking their problems away or something like that, or, like, pretending they have the perfect life, but, like, their husband, they haven't had sex with him in, like, 6 years or something like that. This one, the problems were real. The problems were gut punching, you know, they stuck with you, they made you nervous to read certain things in the book, and I really, really liked it. So I ended up giving the book 5 out of 5 stars, and if you have read it or any of the author's other books, I'm saying the author because I don't know how to pronounce her name, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments, or if you're checking out the TV series, and like I said, be sure to keep an eye out for my review of the TV adaptation, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!